Hello everybody, it's Neko here, long time no see! In this week's video I'll be completing a soap craft kit as part of my 100 things to do over summer, so let's jump right in. I decided to spice things up a little bit by adding a few of my own ingredients, but the kit comes with more than enough ingredients to create your own bars of soap. So if you're not like me and you don't hoard craft materials in the hopes that they'll one day come in handy, this will be fine to create. The kit I'm using is called the Spa Lab. I chose this coconut soap kit over the regular soap kit they had because I thought it would be a nicer final product, just make it a little bit more interesting. The kit comes with some basic instructions, some melt and pour soap base, dried out coconut fragrance, as well as a silicone mould. But you'll also need some disposable cups and some stir sticks, and some gloves if you don't want a soapy mess on your hands, but then again it is soap so you can just wash it off. The booklet lists all the ingredients as well as the directions on how to make the soap and a few ideas on how to change the recipe if you're feeling a little bit more adventurous. I wanted my bars of soap to be a little bit more interesting, so I decided I used the coconut flakes to create an exfoliating outer layer, with the actual bar of soap being in the middle. I did this by first melting down 2 blocks of my soap in a disposable cup, then mixing in the dried coconut to create a thicker consistency. It took a little while for the soap to begin to harden for me before it was easy enough to paste around the edges, but once it began cooling down, it cooled down fast. So it was just a case of being patient and working with the soap when you could as fast as you could. Anyway, I coated the outer layer of the silicone mould with the coconut soap mix that I'd made, and then set that aside to harden while I melted some more soap to fill in the rest of the base. This was where I added my fragrance oil to the soap before allowing it to cool slightly so it didn't melt our outer layer that we'd already created. Once I was confident the soap was cool enough, I poured it into the rest of the mould and put it into the fridge to set. You may also notice that I have my silicone mould on a baking tray. That's just to make it easier to transfer from the workstation to the fridge without making a soapy mess. Now I'm going to move on to the lavender soap. For this bar of soap I'm using my own ingredients that weren't included in the kit. I used products that I already had on hand to mix things up, but be creative and add whatever you like. Anyway, I followed similar steps to the first bar of soap and began by melting down a small amount of soap base in the disposable cup. I poured some lavender into the mix as well as the tiniest amount of purple food colouring. You really want to use a tiny amount here because you don't want to accidentally dye your hands purple when you wash them. Once I was happy with the colour, I added it to the silicone mould in just one solid flat layer. While that was setting up in the fridge, I melted down the rest of my soap base and added as much fragrance oil as I thought was necessary. Let that harden in the fridge like we did with the last bar of soap, and it's done. I found cutting the soap on its side was easiest. It meant that none of the lavender actually dragged down, and it kept fairly defined layers. Altogether, I managed to cut 8 bars of soap from my 2 large ones. As always, if you have any suggestions for any crafty creations, please leave them in the comment box below and I'll be back next week with a brand new video. So until then, take care guys. Bye.